Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maria. So happy you chose to stop by. If this is your first time visiting, welcome to Siempre Infinito's DIY. Today's inspirational piece actually came from the Dollar Tree, and I wanted to use this piece and create a whimsical royal deer. So with all of that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Now that I have my deer all traced out, I'm going to use a knife to cut my piece out. I chose to use just a regular knife instead of using my electric foam cutter, only because I want to see how easy or difficult this would have been. And let me tell you, this was very easy to cut. The only thing that when it came to his antlers, I did had to use an Exacto knife, and that's because this second knife is a lot smaller, and I would have not been able to get inside the little small spaces, you know, where the antlers are at. As you can see how they're all curved. So that's the only time I had to use something else other than just the knife. But please do be careful if you choose to do this, because I did kind of break his little leg at the bottom, but that was fine because I was able to put a little toothpick in there, and then I use glue to glue it back together. But here, as you can see here, I'm showing you how I just used this sector knife for these small little tight spaces. And again, you know, that's where you want to be careful when you're also doing that. And all I did is there just scrape it out, you know, with the foam, if that makes any sense. I mean, with the Exacto knife. And that's how I was able to get in those little corners. And let me tell you, not only was this easy, but it was also very messy. And here I was using a just sanding it down, sunblock, but I just chose to use my hand because I noticed that it was a lot easier to just quicker to do that. So now that I have them all shaped out, I am going to start working on his antlers, and I chose to add some foam instead of just painting it over, because you would have been able to see all of those little bumps, and with the foam clay, it would have covered all of that up. So once I had my clay all rolled out, then I just laid it on top of the antlers, and then I just began to puncture holes right where the curves, or you know, the antlers are at, and I just pushed the clay down inward, and then I went in and lapped it over. Now it is up to you if you want to use glue, but because my clay was still soft, it held just fine without me adding any glue. And as you can see there, I'm just lapping the clay underneath. You can do this on the back side, or you can just leave it alone. That is totally up to you. Again, keep in mind, this is going to be your deer. Now this is the paint that I chose to use for his antlers. I did notice that I'm not sure if it's the quality of the paint or because the clay was white. I had to do like 4 different coats on it. When it came down to doing this to his hoofs, I noticed that because I used brown clay, I didn't have to do that many coats, so you'll see in just a minute. Now this is going to be the back side of the reindeer. This is up to you, your choice if you want to do this or not. I want my reindeer in the back to be covered, so all I did here was just grab this tool and just traced it again, you know, my reindeer, and I just did the body. And I'm going to glue this on the back side of my deer, and you'll see just a minute because that was actually the front side. And I'm just using regular tacky glue to glue my foam down. Again, you know, if this is your first time ever working with foam sheets like this, you know, or not foam sheets, but just regular foam, you want to keep away from the crazy glue. I have used it in the past, and I have noticed that it does eat through it. Maybe it won't for you, but I've noticed for me, you know, maybe I guess it's because the amount that I added, I don't know. But yeah, so just giving you a heads up on that. And also hot glue, you want to use like a low temp, and you know, you'll probably won't get any holes in there, or it won't eat your foam through, or what have you. Anyways, moving on. So now that I have my foam sheet all covering the back of my deer, I am going to start working on the front of the deer, and I'm going to add some clay. Now because the clay that I have is way too dark. I needed to lighten it up. I just mix it up with some white, make sure that I condition my clay very well and there's no bubbles in there. And here it's me rolling out clay now, because this is a large piece. This was actually kind of hard. I had to try to figure out how I wanted to do this. So what I wind up doing is doing two sections. I kept noticing that it wouldn't cover the whole deer, so I just like, you know what, I'm just going to do half of one and then half the other. And it worked so much easier for me to do that as well, because the clay, I am going to lap it on the back side. And then again, it's up to you if you want to use glue to glue down your foam. I didn't have to, because my clay was too soft, and I just lapped it, as you can see there, over. And it's still then, I mean, still now it's still holding great, so I don't have to worry about that. So this section, I did let it dry overnight, and I went in the following day and I added the rest of the clay. So right where his legs bent, I went ahead and used a knife to cut that in between, because that is such a small space in there. I didn't want to break it if I were to put my fingers in there. And here I'm just using an icing knife and just pat the clay down to keep it from rising up. And I also, what I did when I added the other piece of clay to this part of the leg, I wet my fingers and just try to smooth out those two, so you wouldn't really be able to see where the both clays connect, which is the dry clay and in this case the wet clay. And this is really, it was easy. It was just a little time consuming, because I had to be very careful that I would not break his legs or anything like that. And then I went in, and as you can see here, you can almost see the difference between the dry and the wet part of the clay. But that's okay, because I'm going to cover that up. Now, where his hoofs are at, that is brown clay. So I just went ahead and painted it twice with gold, 2 coats of gold, and that was it. I didn't have to use 4, because again, the clay was white. In this case is brown. And then I just went ahead and added something to make it look like little bells going around his hoofs. So I want to add a pad. So now what I'm going to do is just measure it. So I wind up doing the wrong measurements. I thought it was going to be 4 by 4, but in reality, I wind up needing like 6 by 4. So again, I am fine with that, because I cut it too small. I am going to be adding a cute little border going around, so you really won't be able to tell the difference where you'll see where they'll both connect. So this is a cute pink that I chose to use, and I believe the color of the clay is called cotton candy pink. And then here's the cute border that I found, and all I'm doing now is just brushing with some oil, just so my clay won't get stuck and it'll be really easy to lift. The color of green, I think it's called mint green. Yes, I think that's the color that is mint green. And I thought that these two colors would have been cute and adorable, because she is going to be a whimsical royal deer, and I thought that these two colors combining together would have been perfect. And with some gold in there as well, I mean, I really love how this is all coming out together. If you follow me on Facebook, you probably noticed that I also done one on one of the lives event that I was invited to. And this is, as you can see, how cute she's really coming out. And that one, I did it like an ice cream. I think I also posted it on TikTok. I also posted it over there. But yeah, so this one I wanted to go a little different, because not only am I doing another deer, I want to do a sled as well, and I am actually working on that as we speak. So I can't wait for you guys to see the whole thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a video on the Christmas sled, but I definitely am doing it live while I'm over on Facebook. So if you want to go check that out, I will post pictures of it later. But it's, just giving you heads up what's there to come. So I wanted to give her like a cute little button where, I don't know what they're called, but where you'll see where I'm placing it at. Oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like not the chain. Oh my goodness, I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, so I just thought that maybe the rose would have been better on there and cuter because she is a little, she's a girl. So this is, like I said, it's all coming out cute. I did had to use glue to glue down all of the extra pieces that I'm adding. And here I'm just cleaning it up around. Again, I'm going to, everything that I'm using in this video, I'm going to post it in the description box down below in case you want to go in and do one yourself, where I found most of my stuff at. And then, of course, what girl does not like her diamonds? So I just thought that these cute little jams would have been perfect on her. And then here she is. She is all set, ready to go. I just love how she came out. What do you think? Here's a closer look for you. She looks so freaking cute. And I also gave her a little crown. You'll see it in just a minute, because she is, the royal's deer. So every royal's deer has to have a crown, right? Anyways, my friends, so here she is. If you're not following me on Facebook, I hope you really consider going over there and checking me out. Here is the one that I made over there. He is an ice cream slash cone reindeer. I also love how he looks. I placed him on top of a cake. So anyways, my friends, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and until the next time, stay safe, be kind, bye.